one of the most challenging times of my life, but also one of the most beautiful. Like just to be there and just feel the love that I have for my brother and have for my whole family, and how we all came together. It was challenging. It was it was brought the best and the worst out of all of us. What's up, brother, sister, legend? This is a very special episode, and I'd love to bring on this guest. However, he's not here anymore, which is my older brother, Alan Todd Morgan. And 364 days ago, he passed away. It's the 5th of November today, Sunday, and tomorrow is his 1-year anniversary of his passing. And I wanted to do a special episode today because I went away for the weekend with my wife. It's our 8 years of being together and our 5 years of being married, our anniversary. And so I whisked her away and went up to the Mossman River in the Daintree, and it was epic, beautiful. And we were away and just really spending some time together in our relationship. And just was reflecting on it being 1 year and having a conversation with Christy, my wife. And I'm going down to Sydney to be with my family tomorrow, or we're going this afternoon. And so we're going to all be together on this sad day when my brother passed away. And Christy was just asking me some questions, and it just got me sort of talking and thinking. And I had a deep release, and shed a lot of tears. And his presence is felt, and his presence is missed. And I love my brother so much. And I think it's not until you're faced with the potential of their death or their death that you really realize how much you love someone, especially someone so close, like your brother, your mother, your father, a sibling, or someone that's so close to you in your life. Like my brother was, when I was born, he was there. He was my older brother. He was 3 years older than me. So, he was there when I first came into the world. And so to see him leave the world, it was a lot. And he was diagnosed with cancer. And I'll get into the story in a second, but long story short, as we were away, I thought, I said, why don't I release Brother, a track that I wrote for him tomorrow? And so, which this podcast should be out a few days after that, on the Wednesday, I believe, or maybe the following week. I think it'd be the following week. And so I wanted to just share a little bit about the backstory and release the track on the podcast. And so it was a couple of years ago. It must have been about 3 years ago. I think it was about 2 years before he passed away. And I got a call from him, and I was driving, and I think he tried to call me. Maybe I called him back, and I was just driving. I was like, I'll call him when I get in the car. I jumped in the car, was driving with my wife, and he goes, are you driving? I said, yeah. He goes, can you pull over? And as soon as he said that, I was like, fuck. And so I pulled over, and he shared that he was being diagnosed with cancer. That and there's many varying types of cancer, and I wasn't sure if the severity of it, but by the sound of his voice, he sounded pretty concerned. And so, yeah, I was shocked. Really hit me hard. My brother lived on the other side of Australia, and it was during COVID times, and so he was in WA, I was in New South Wales, and yeah, it wasn't possible to go over with the lockdowns and without quarantining for a couple of weeks and all this crazy stuff, and so I just wanted to go over there and see him and give him a hug, and but we couldn't go over there. It was just wasn't really possible with everything that was going down, which made it really challenging. And so he started some treatment, and I just sort of said to him, bro, like, listen, man, if I'm here for you, support you through whatever happens. If that, I really want you to live, and I'd love to see you survive, and if that means that you're going to pass, then I'm here for that as well. I'm here for you. Well, whatever direction this journey goes, and whatever it takes you. And me being deep in personal development and personal empowerment and healing, I was like, fuck, there must be a way I can help him. Like, I've learned so many things, and I've heard so many stories of people healing cancers and having amazing transformations and things like that. And so I was actually reading a David Goggins book at the time, You Can't Hurt Me, I think it's called, and it's pretty hardcore. And I sent it to Alan. I was like, man, read this. Like, this will give you inspiration that anything's possible. Anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine, Vu, and Vujadeus, and he said, oh, maybe check out Joe Dispenza. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. He goes, he really specializes in the area of cancer and people with disease, and helping people have miraculous healings and things like that. So I bought one of his books, his audio books, and I also bought it for my brother. Sent it to him. You are the placebo, and started listening to it, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, this really offers an alternate solution here, an alternate perspective. And so shared it with my brother, and I also shared it with my family, and I said, hey guys, Alan's listening to this. I'm listening to this, and I really feel it can help us support him through this and give him the right mindset to heal. And so shared it with my family. And I was also like, man, if they read this, like, this will be big for the whole family. And anyway, so we started listening to it, and we, got into the meditations and things like that. And it wasn't long into it, my dad suggested that we do a meditation, a family meditation. So we all gather together online, and we meditate with the intention to help my brother heal. So that's a great idea. And so we did a Zoom call, and we got on, and then we all meditated together with the intention and seeing my brother healed. I was like, fuck, this is cool. This is cool that we're doing this as a family. Like, that's epic. Anyway, so then it became a regular thing. And so every week on a Wednesday, my siblings and my dad would gather for a meditation. And then we're like, well, how about we get mum involved? And so mum and dad, weren't really talking at this stage. I hadn't really talked much since they split 26 years ago. And so we'd do a meditation with my dad on a Wednesday, and my siblings, and then my siblings and my mum on a Thursday every week. And my brother really got immersed in Joe Dispenza's work, and he started like really focusing on healing. And, it got really immersed. He ended up going to a Joe Dispenza event in San Diego, a 7-day retreat, had a really amazing experience there. And before that, he was getting married. He decided to marry his fiance and make her his wife. And they were getting married in WA. The borders had opened up. The COVID thing had sort of dropped a little bit. And so we're all going over there for his wedding. And I was like, I just sort of started my rap journey, and I had a few different tracks. And I was like, I'd love to really write a song for my brother. And I was working with a coach, Maya, and she was supporting me with just writing and, really getting the emotion out and how I was feeling. And also working with Johnny Sonic, my producer. And so I just cleared my schedule. I was going over for his wedding. I thought, oh, this would be an epic wedding gift. Like, how about I write him a song? So I just sat down and just allowed the raw emotion and how I was feeling come through. And I wrote this song. And as I was writing, I was in tears. And I wrote it probably over about 3 days. And it was epic. Definitely the best song I had written, and just how the story that it told, the emotion that it shared, and then also the healing that it provided for me and also my family. I think it was confronting for the family to hear, my brother to hear. It just shared how, the sadness and how challenging it was, and it also shared my my hope. My vision for the possibility of him healing and having a breakthrough with his cancer, because the doctors said that it was incurable. And so, I've heard of many people that have had incurable diseases and they've healed them. And so, that was my hope and my vision for my bro. And I know he was tapping into that potential as well. And his cancer markers started to go down, and, the test started to look more positive, and we're like, holy fuck, brother, you're doing it, man. You're healing. And, it just sort of seemed like he was, he wasn't working and he was really being himself. And I can't say how he was feeling internally because, I wasn't him and I wasn't in his body, but, it seemed like he had some quality time with his children and his family and us. And, it brought us all together. And, it was about 2 months before he passed away that it was a stomach cancer, and it had his bowel had obstructed his bowel, and his bowel had twisted, and so he went into hospital, and that was when shit got really real, because it's like, holy fuck, like now he's in hospital, like this isn't looking good, and the cancer had spread, and so it had spread, but it also like called us all together, and so all of a sudden there was my family, and my wife was like, babe, just go, because I live in northern New South Wales and he was in Sydney. So I just got on a plane and went down there and just pretty much spent 2 months every day at the hospital. I'd come back here and there to see my family, but I'd just be back down there and spending time with my mum, my dad, my sister, my other brother, Brett, and my brother, Arlen, and his family in hospital. And very confronting times, and just seeing him, slowly fade away, and also really beautiful times. I was saying to my wife the other day, like, one of the most challenging times of my life, but also one of the most beautiful. Like, just to be there and just, feel the love that I have for my brother and have for my whole family, and how we all came together. It was challenging. It was brought the best and the worst out of all of us. And but one of the real blessings that came from it is my mum and dad, as mentioned before, hadn't really talked, since they split up 26 years ago. And my mum really couldn't forgive my dad, and so there was a lot of tension, and that was always really awkward, even at the hospital, awkward when both of them were there, and there was a bit of like bickering and things like that. And then something switched, and it was probably like maybe a month before my brother passed, and all of a sudden you just feel the energy was a bit different. It's like, oh, mum and dad are in the room, and we'd be meditating in the hospital room. All of us would be standing around my brother holding hands. Meditating. And I would play this song a few times for him at the hospital as well. And it always make everyone cry. I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing. And the energy shifted between my mum and dad. And, they started talking. And the day that my brother passed away, we all caught up together and went out for breakfast, and we went back to my sister's house. And I remember it was for the first time I'd ever seen my mum and dad for 26 years, like since I was 12, in the same place together, being themselves and being okay with each other being there. And, you know, I guess as children, it's what you want your parents to be, you know, happy, or, you know, it was always really hard for us, you know, them not being, you know, being together or just being amicable, you know. And so I just had this moment. I was like, my you know, Arlen, my brother, would just be so proud, just so happy to see that, you know, they've forgiven each other, and you know, and so, you know, I'm so grateful that, you know, it really was my brother passing brought them back together. And not that they're together, but like, you know, they're now they're able to be in a room without it being super awkward. So yeah, I love you, brother, and yeah, I miss you, mate. And tomorrow's going to be a sad day, and can't believe it's been a year, and it's time for the world to hear this track. And I'll play the track at the end of this song. There'll be a little clip, photos of my brother that was taken from the video that was played at his funeral. I also have a song that I did a speech at his funeral, and I turned that into a song, and I'll release that soon. I have another couple of songs that were really in memory of my brother as well, that I've written over the last since he's passed away. This one I wrote before he passed away. So enjoy, and yeah, love your family, because you never know when the day will come.
I could tell by his voices in the blues. He said, hey bro, I got some bad fucking news. I don't know how to really break it to ya. I've been diagnosed with fucking cancer. Silence, my heart stops. Might I lose my brother? The tears drop. I'm a pretty optimistic dude, but my thoughts are filled with the thought of losing you. Shit I can't even face, living in a world without your ugly face. Just joking, my dear brother, even though we take the piss, we love each other. Thinking of the pain of mum and dad, the worst nightmare with the first son they had. It's not gonna be an easy road, bro. A wife and 2 kids that you wanna see grow. The hardest thing I ever had to face. Can't imagine what it'd be like in your place. The will of a man to live, it is strong, and miracles happen all along. That's my wish for you, my brother. There's plenty more summers having laughs with each other, reminiscing back when we kids, praying for a future that is positive.
You make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know,
I've had friends close to me, battling and struggling with the dirty sea. Now it's been hard every time, but something deep hits when it is a bro of mine. Watching Mikey die was a big blow. That's why I'm here fighting for you, bro. You've been there since the first day I was born. Damn, I'm so fucking torn. Reflecting back on them years, many crazy things as kids we did. days of having lots of fun, and our childhood wasn't an easy one. Dad walking out, being raised by a single mother isn't easy. Parents that won't talk to each other through the pain made us strong, giving us direction. Our parents love us all day long, that's no question. My main frustration is these restrictions, closing down borders for someone sneezing. The real pandemic is these diseases. I could go on, but I'll save that for another song. This one is for you, my brother. I feel the presence of our lineage here supporting. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Got the support of a tribe on your side.
You make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know.
Future pace 30 years, you and I sitting on the porch, haven't lived a full life, laughing at the kids in the strife. It's funny how we are so alike, seeing the cancer as a moment in time upon reflection. Not a death but a resurrection. Time stood still, we put life on pause, discovered how important family was, strengthened our connection, deepened our love, something we can all be proud of. Life is so precious through these challenging times, give us perspective, it shows us how short is this life. You really gave it your all, that life's not to be taken granted for. An inspiration, even at your lowest, strength and courage is what you showed us. Discovered your purpose and your vision, like a diamond that's being ground down, pushed to the bottom before you were crowned. Pass the test, skip death, but still the clock is ticking. It's imminent for every human breathing. We must ask the question to my brothers out there stressing, are you just existing or are you living, like truly living? Go on, the clock is ticking. Ask the question, are you existing or are you living, like truly living?
You make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know.
Love you, bro. Sitting here watching the clock, I'm struggling, thinking of the bullshit that I've been juggling. Is there more to life than this? I'm thinking twice about the price I'm paying in this 9 to 5 life. The sweatshop on the globe.